Hey, HR friends, welcome back. So we made it to day two, and we're in day two of the 3-4 emotional 6.5 day sequence. Now, day one in this transition, it definitely has delivered. There has been all kinds of political turmoil, and there have been all kinds of weather events that happened at that transition. And we're just getting through some really strong alignments here, and there's some good news, at least the alignment. So the intensification is going to come down just a little bit. Now, what we're going to talk about here first is the electromagnetics. So we've got our polarity moments in first, third, and our combined polarity moments. And really, the ones we got to watch right now is the third person. So these are the larger pictures. Now, in the United States, for example, there is all kinds of turmoil over the presidential election, and everybody's investing in what should happen and what shouldn't happen. What a coincidence, huh? And the things that are going off right now is we have a macro E and we have a micro M. This means that these polarity moments are messing with not only our emotional, but also our mental rhythms. This is going to have people short. This is going to have people reacting fast. And that's the last thing you want to do. This is the unseen pattern of chaos. It is trying to trick you into either running from your problems, ignoring your problems, or making your problems worse. Now, if you do that, the only thing that happens is you age faster and you're guaranteed to have some disease in the later stages of your life. That's how this works. Okay. So I'm just going to let you know we're pretty much on high alert here. Now, I hope everyone's jet lag feeling is starting to get to the other side. Usually when we transition in that day one, when we get about halfway through, and there was a lot of electromagnetic energy going on yesterday. So if it wiped you out and you're starting to feel like you're getting back into your groove today, that's because our bodies have finally acclimated to this new direction again. Okay. So let's hope that helps people stay calm and really, really, really high alert. You can see four is where we get concerned. We're at a four and above a four this next 24-hour sequence. All right, let's get down here and just briefly talk about the objective. So in space-time reality, the objective is super simple. I say this every single time, just an interconnected mathematical team. The upper ones, the mother and father, that's the team leader, and the lower ones down here, these are the teammates, the son and the daughter. And all this means is we're all supposed to be on a team. We've got people that have more experience that are trying to keep the team together, and the team focus has to be cooperation and communication. Now, the biggest problem within our teams right now seems to be that it's okay that we let our teammates do any kind of routine they want, and we don't want to bother them, so we just try to coexist without having any arguments. Well, that's good. We don't want to have arguments, but we also want to be able to talk to our teammates about balancing their choices. Okay. Why? Because as this interconnected team, what we're supposed to be focused on here is balancing our routines and our choices so that we're equally contributing at the family, the individual, the world, and the national level. Now, what's happened here is people have been ignoring their responsibilities on the top ones and overinvesting here on the bottom ones. And what that's done is it's got us arguing and fighting about why our world is so disorganized and why our nations are falling apart. And that's not going to change until people take responsibility for their routines, their actions, and become leaders in an interconnected team. Now, if you do that, this is why you'd want to. If you work with all team members and encourage all team members to balance routine, and you don't just encourage them, you have to do it through inspiring them. You do it yourself. And when you do these things and you get in alignment, that's what these frequencies are testing us on. If you're balanced, the frequencies can heal you, they can stop your aging progression from going as quickly. If you refuse to do it, you don't get along with your team, and you refuse to balance your routines, these are the quadrants of your body that will be affected depending on which members of the team you don't get along with and which routines you're not prioritizing. It's that simple. All right, so let's move on down and we're going to talk about this 24-hour section now down here. This is the zoomed in 24-hour section. We give you all 24 time zone offsets. That aligns these times with these peaks. So if you don't have good internet all day long, you snapshot this with your phone, you take it with you, you hunt and peck down here until you find your time zone offset. It holds for 10 seconds. That gives you time to screenshot it, and away you go. If you do have good internet all day long, then come to our homepage, healthreconnected.com, look at the live feed, and there's a time bar that comes through this thing and tells you exactly where you are within the sequence. And I promise you, every time you have an outburst, every time you think you need to yell at someone or something's irritating you, and you look at that time bar, you're going to see it's at one of these peaks. That's how this works. We just didn't know. This is the organized pattern of chaos, and it's been working us over pretty good. And when you look around, it's winning. Now, Health Reconnected is giving everyone this advantage, this technological advantage. We're giving you this awareness so that this unseen pattern can stop manipulating you. Now, here's the good news. We're done talking about this because literally, look at 24 hours and there's mental polarity and emotional polarity. So people that struggle with mental health or emotional health, This is going to be a difficult period for them, and you need to be aware of that. So if you aren't struggling with your mental or emotional health, you can support the people that are. Okay. Again, this 24 hours is going to be tough. All right. The good news is here, very, very light in alignments. We only have one alignment we're going to talk about. It's right here. It's this ME. It's going to test upper right quadrant. So during this time, and it's not even that long, if you get some sinus problems, some head problems, you get confusion, you get pain in this upper right quadrant at all, it's related to this alignment. Just document exactly what you felt, when you felt it. Use our software, and we can tell you exactly what relationships you need to focus on and what you need to expand to not hurt in the future. All right. Let's get down here to macro position. So these are the strongest frequencies, and this is where they're parked for the next 24 hours. Now, the P1 is the first 12 hours, the P2 is the second 12 hours. Same thing here, P1, P2. Now, you can see it's stacked up here on the right side a little bit, but because this P1 and P2 don't fire at the same time, it's really balanced from side to side. And when we look at the testing sequence here, you can see the top quadrant, top left, top right quadrant, lower left and lower right quadrant are all really floating around that 4 number, okay? So this is a pretty even testing sequence, and if it was me and I was still in practice, I would suspect more lower stuff than anything, but because of this alignment and because this M and this E and this M are up here, it is definitely likely people are going to struggle with that as well because these are the tougher perspectives, and a lot of people aren't balancing these perspectives. Now, I made this prediction a couple days ago when all this stuff moved, when we got these M's up here and this E up here, and said a lot of people are going to start to get run down. It's going to run down their immune system. Now, I'm located in Florida, and one of the problems we're having in senior assisted living facilities right now is an exacerbation of COVID. There's a lot of COVID cases right now, and that has to do with these and where they're parked. So when we get these stronger frequencies up here, definitely starts to run the body down. Highly likely that that's when you're going to catch a cold, or for people that suffer from headaches, or for people that have memory problems, this is when they're going to struggle with that. That's how important it is to know where these strong frequencies are parked. Okay, so I'd like to say it's one or the other, but in truth here, it's really going to be up and down today. So everybody needs to pay attention. Very, very important. Last thing, we're going to do a quick review down here. So we've got the entire rest of 2024 posted. These are the electromagnetics that are coming, and you can see everything. And you don't have to worry about if you understand these numbers or not. You can just move through them down here, and when you come up here, you can see the date it starts and the date it ends. That's how simple this is. And if you've got summer travel plans, or if you just want to look ahead because you got some family reunion or something, this is important to know. This is the chaos that causes all of this dysfunction and arguments within our family structures, or when we're going out and getting in big crowds of people. So we are trying to empower you with as much information as we can so you don't have to depend on watching these 24-hour forecasts or just the 6.5 day week that we're talking about now. This gives you the advantage to go forward in time as far as into the end of 2024. All right, that's enough for today, and we'll see you in the next 24 hours for the next post.